Who would, I mean, So we can work
stopping
together
it
to
is
solve it.
probably virtually impossible. But if they're gonna put it in, make them share the profits.
And we have to be prepared for that. We want to start the process by saying we don't want this, and do everything we can in the intervention at the Illinois Commerce Commission. But outside of that, as that's happening, we need to be preparing for the what if. So
Correct.
if it does go through, it's an 8-month time period. That's the other concern we have. This isn't like we have a year to study this. We have to be moving on it, somewhat expediently.
I don't think it would take much study to look back and see what other royalties they're charged for different facilities, that this is a giveaway. And
Especially in the state of Illinois, because we don't tax pipelines. The other 4 states tax pipelines. So every year they're getting tax dollars. Illinois is not.
that's what we need to find out, is how much these other states are receiving from this pipeline. If that pipeline runs 50 years of resource, we get nothing.
That's correct.
But somebody out there on the end is, they're filling their pocket.
And the landowners are
We get
strapped to it.
Yeah, but
That's
going
just a
across
part
my
of it.
farm or yours,
Right.
we're not getting anything. Well, we lose because we gotta give them a right of way.
That's correct.
And I'm very familiar with that. I've got a couple holes out in a couple of my fields right now, and try to get them there to fix it. And that's not easy either.
Well, time's over, I thank you.
Hi, Mr. Williams, you had mentioned that they had approached you guys about easements or right-of-ways. Did they approach you about both or one over the other across your land?
They want, way I understand it, they want an easement.
They want an
And
easement?
it's 50 feet wide and that goes forever. As far as I know, that would last until the end of time. And that 50-foot width, I'm not exactly sure that anywhere in that 100 to 125 foot working area is possible where that could be. So I don't know if they've ever showed me anything, the right exact spot that would be, but I know they will encompass a half mile.
Thank you.
In addition, those contracts are showing, the ones they've sent out initially are showing on there that they can add things later. So they can come back if they want another right of way for another pipeline or fiber optics, or that's what they're trying to write into those contracts right now. So for years later, it did happen to someone in a county south of here with another natural gas pipeline. They came back several years later, and so they disturbed the soil all over again. Who's like, they shouldn't be able to do that. They said, look at the contract from that many years ago. You'll see that was.
Let me say one more thing about it in the protection of the farmer's property. On my farm, I got a ravine and the pipeline runs through it. And over the years, that pipeline was put in there in 1935. And through the years, the ravine got deeper and shallower over top of the pipeline.
Right.
Well, pulling the ripper hit that pipeline. Luckily, the shank tripped. But they came out, cut a big section out of the pipe, dug up the land, put in a new piece of pipe, filled the land back up, partial,
Okay.
and went away.
Okay, John, we're down to about 2 minutes. I want to go ahead and cover wrap some things up.
I have one quick question. If they're sequestering CO2 in limestone in southern Illinois, does that destroy the usable nature of the limestone? Because right across the river is Hannibal. And there's a big quarry there that's ag quality limestone.
Right. Those are all things that, as I'm reading articles, they are trying to assure people, but they cannot tell that for sure at this point. I mean, those are things that none of us are going to know until something happens.
I want to make one more comment on the CO2. That's what they used to put pigs to sleep with in the packing plant. So a lot of that is a 2,000-pound pressure pipeline. If you're very close, your odds of getting away probably kind of slim.
And the, safety valves right now are 30 miles apart, is what they told us. Well, going through Fulton County, we got 13 miles. So you can see that just our 13 miles, if we're on either end, we're getting everything that happens right here between those 30 miles. And you can shut them off, but that has to go somewhere. So during the rupture, what was left in that pipe?
I think zoning ought to clarify that and put it shut off at every major road and maybe on every road, even the township right away. Because sometimes you've had a water leak at home or something, you had to work on something, that first valve you went to didn't work.
Do we know what kind of insurance policy they will provide for the county if there is a problem?
No, because State Farm has already given out to homeowners that ask for it, or landowners, they are not insuring this. They will not cover it. So that's what we were told. We had a letter from State Farm that says they will not cover any kind of accidents or anything that occurs on our ground.
I mean, when that explosion happens, that's gonna be a big one.
All right, we got a half a minute left here.
Anyone else have a question?
Thank you.
Okay,
So do we just ask to be, I mean, how do we have that conversation with that committee? Just ask to be put on their agenda?
Mhm.
Okay. The board is.
Thank you for coming.
thank you.
Thank you.
They don't know you exist.
Okay, health, we're gonna skip. Laura, do you have anything else for health?
I just wanted to mention the health department has the new boosters that are partial original strain of COVID and partial the Omicron most common one right now. And they are having walk-in clinics on Mondays and Wednesdays for adults, and Fridays kids clinic prefer appointment only. And you can call the health department to schedule. And no COVID at the Clayburgh as of the last while.
Okay. How many residents, you know, off the top of your head?
I think 42, maybe a couple more than that, but at our meeting Thursday, they had 42 and they thought they would have 2 new admits soon, so hopefully more than that.
Okay, thanks. Anybody got any questions? Okay, thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Okay, highway, Nestor.
County 2 bridge between London Mill and Ellisville. They'll be open in about 2 weeks. It should be open before the Spoon River Drive. So I've been told, so hope for that. That'll work out. Most of the major culvert replacement they've been doing throughout the county is pretty much completed. Now they're grading off shoulders, knocking down the high shoulders, doing mowing and some patching. That's about all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, anybody got any questions? All right,
Thank you.
thanks. Public safety and campground, Harry.
Okay. Campground rates. Need a motion, I make a motion.
Yeah, if you speak up a lot or get the microphone.
Okay, for the campground, we're gonna increase the rates annually. I'll make a motion to approve those campground rates.
Okay, there's Shane, do I have a second? Bowler? Oh, sorry. Okay, now you discuss it.
And I can discuss it, okay?
Second.
Bowler.
Okay, the current rates, the non-electric rates were $550 annually. and the current electric rates were $880 annually plus the electric. The new rates, 2023, the non-electric rates are $660 annually. The electric rates are $1,055 annually plus the electric.
Anybody got any questions?
What is the difference between the electric and non-electric if they're paying for the electric?
That's about 390, John?
Currently it's 330. Next year it'll be 395. But the critical piece of information that Roger only discovered recently, and my committee didn't know because the previous committee had kind of antied me. There's almost $7,500 worth of fees that we do not collect from our electric. These are fees that are passed on from Ameren to Spoon River that my committee did not want us to collect because they feared of triggering the rent clause. Well, okay, the rent clause is kind of a mess because how our team negotiated the agreement, it's a colossal mess. I don't spend down the budget, so I have a surplus, as Stacy will tell you, we pay rent. We're real good at spending it down. But by improving their property and changing their depreciation structure, which is what we've done with the playground and pending fiber, that triggered, oh, well, that money could have been rent. So by improving their property, we're penalized in paying rent. So that's part of why we needed to have an increase. Everything else is going up across the board. So that was the stem of the 20% increase. And those rates, we're still one of the cheapest campgrounds, if not the cheapest campground in 300 miles.
Yes, the question that I heard.
Okay, let me see if I can answer it because it was confusing, but he's talking about rent. Okay, what he's talking about is at the end of the year, if we have a profit, we have to pay MSD 25%?
25% of the profit.
Of whatever
So
the profit is.
we're going to be paying I assume, I'm still on hold with them, are you? On the rent? Yeah, we haven't been told if we're actually going to have to pay it yet or not. I've been working really, really, really hard. I've built a really, really, really good relationship with the people at MSD. They support my administrative decisions on how I've been running the place. So that's the difference. And it's supposed to cover, that difference is supposed to cover not only the electricity, but the improvement and the infrastructure maintenance. But the other thing that happens, for example, we put in a 50-amp service for campsites. We'll have to pay rent on all those improvements because of the way the agreement was written in 2015.
Because if we show a profit, then we have to pay taxes. Actually, MSD has to pay taxes, but we have to pay.
Yeah, we still pay taxes because there was something else that was botched in the negotiation.
I guess the question that I had heard was that if the people running the lot are actually paying for the electric, why are they also paying more for the lot?
Because they're not covering it.
They're not paying enough to
They're
cover
not
it.
paying enough. And because I can't be a utility, because of all the things that were suggested would make me a utility,
Okay,
that's why we got called in the carpet by Spoon River back when we were starting this whole process. If back in 2019, if I had gotten the initial 25% rate increase, we wouldn't have to spend the $22,000 on the meters to try to reclaim what we're losing.
Okay, anybody else? John?
Yes, sir.
I'm still not up to par on this. What is our budget? Does our budget say we're under budget, under profit, or above profit margin?
I'd have to go back and look, and what I'm at right now, we're still in the black, but I will be putting a whole bunch into wire. Because my brilliant wife, when we were out laying drains, and we're saying, oh, you're gonna buy more rock. It's like, well, we buy rock every year. Well, why aren't you buying wire? No, why aren't we buying wire? We want to upgrade to 50 amp, as some of the campers want. Let's get the material now, and that's what we're gonna do. Instead of buying gravel, we're gonna buy wire and material. But remember, when we start improving the infrastructure and putting in those 50 amps, we're also going to have to pay rent on that.
Are we operating in the red?
No.
But he's wanting to do improvements to the campground. And he can't do that. He's wanting to do improvements to the campground,
Okay.
but he needs more money to be able to do that. To keep it upgraded, keep everything nice out there.
Uh, Have you done an analysis on how much increase you're gonna cost the consumer?
Yes, sir. If you'd like to stop out, I can go over it with you, but that was about a two-week process of going through everything. And I have a wife who was an analyst. She was an actuary for the Dutch Postal Service, so I got a high-level number cruncher right next to me all the time.
So, but you have it figured out that we won't have to pay the 25% tax or to the owner.
No. This season, no, I'm gonna be buying a lot more material, a lot more gravel. Also wouldn't mind talking about maybe a bonus for Courtney, because Courtney has been my only seasonal helper all year. And frankly, she's critically underpaid.
What about after this year?
We'll see what.
Where's the problem?
I don't know, John. That's next year. I gotta make projections. Right now, I have one electric site open to the public and 3 non-electric sites open to the public. When it's all said and done by the end of the year, I might have a list of 6 electric sites and probably still have the 3 electric sites. Those electric sites don't go so good. I'm not worried about seeing a mass exodus at all. I have 43 on my extras waiting list, so if 43 people leave, I should be able to fill it, or a good chunk of it.
And John will still be the cheapest for
I will
the
still be,
area.
we will still be the cheapest campground in probably about 300 miles.
May I add something?
Sure.
I want to make sure there's clarification on this rent part. So when you see the budget for the campgrounds and any of the other funds, it's a cash basis. It's the day-to-day. When John is talking the 25% rent that we have to pay, that is after we are audited. The equipment, the auditors depreciate it. It's basically an accrual that has a depreciation of the equipment that the county owns with the campground. So John can't necessarily, right now, there's a little over 105,000 in the campground fund. But there will be expenses that come out and different things, and you're going, all of that stuff. But at the same time, it's a catch-22. Because the other part of me, I'm gonna say to you, you are improving land that the county doesn't own.
Right.
Now, it's not that I don't want the campers to have a wonderful experience. It's not that I don't want us to be a tourism gem for Fulton County, because we all want that. But we need to keep a mindful eye on where those dollars are being spent, because again, we are improving land that we don't own. But per the contract with MSD, which is a whole nother conversation, a whole nother day, you will really need to try to get that revised. We are now paying property taxes on the 4 parcels in an area of which we occupy.
And based on what I've talked with the MSD attorneys, one line, if the supervisor assessment had taken their guidance as opposed to forcing the language he wanted, we wouldn't pay taxes.
I would also like to clarify, that's
Yeah.
not.
Former.
So when you're looking at trying to not pay that 25% to MSD, we want to keep our profit. We want to be profitable as a campground, because a profitable campground is good for tourism. It's good for our campers. It's good for that experience. But it is in a bit of a catch-22. So, in terms of the rate increase and different things, I have no opinion on that. I just wanted to make sure that there was clarification that when you're talking rent, it's not the conventional rent that you associate rent to be. It is after an accrued audit has been done of the operational practices of the campground for the prior year, with the depreciation and everything else taken into account. And you're gonna approve the land, and we're gonna potentially pay more in property taxes because of improvements as well. So again, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer that. Anything with the rate increases, John and Mary have that. I just wanted to make sure there was clarification.
And one more point I want to make very clear. How much is that? 105? There's about a $28,000 chunk, that $105,000, that is completely off the table, because that is the deposits. I don't know why that wasn't set up as a separate budget item, but my budget always looks like I got a lot more in it than I do for that question. 28,900 that I can't touch. So I'm down there 70, Yeah, mid-70s. So that's what I have for the rest of the year to operate.
Is our campground full?
Almost. I have one electric site open to the public, 3 non-electrics. We'll have a small list for the internals, have about 4 or 5 on that. People have moved, we've had a couple leave. The woman's not in good health. So, yes, we're almost at capacity.
Okay, anybody else?
I'm done.
And Mary, the committee did vote to approve this?
Yes.
All right. Call roll.
Who got the second on that?
Yep.
Have a microphone.
Hoke.
Yes.
Hudson.
What you,
Said yes.
Kessel.
Yes.
Coomer.
No.
Mattson.
Yes.
McCollum.
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
Taylor.
No.
Thompson.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Arnett.
Yes.
Beck.
Yes.
Barry.
Yes.
Bowler.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Duchesne.
Yes.
Duquesne.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Moving on to P&L. Lisa.
Okay, tonight in your board packet, you have an amendment for the sick leave policy. And I'm gonna make a motion to approve that amendment.
Second by McCollum.
Okay.
Any discussion?
It's confusing for me, we're talking about 40-hour work week, correct?
It just,
If you see in that accrual time, full-time exempt, full-time salary employees, will still be awarded sick time based on hours. And so the salaried employees, we had to set up how to calculate that hourly, and we just made the decision to calculate it on a 40-hour work.
These are the exempt employees.
These are the exempt salary employees.
it's basically the same as it's been.
I'm sorry, what?
Is it basically the same as it's been? The policy?
This policy is, well, there never was a policy, let's just put it that way.
I thought we had well, there's a system that's same as it was. The allotment of time.
Well, it depends on where you look, John, because we have 5 union contracts. This policy was set up for all the non-union people, so that everybody's got guidelines as to what they're entitled to.
So is there quite a few changes in it?
Well, since this is the first policy we've had, John, there's not many changes to it. We just tried to we define in writing how we're gonna do it for the non-union personnel. Contracts are the same as they always were, all the 5 union contracts. We just now have definition for non-union employees.
So we're just writing, this is just a definition of,
Yes.
okay. Why didn't you tell me that?
I don't know, I tried.
But this is defining that this is for new employees.
Yes. The
You
idea,
hesitated there.
you're right. The idea is that when somebody is hired in now, non-union personnel, they can be given a benefits package and it will be defined in writing what they're entitled to. The,
Just definition is basically what it is.
right.
Before we basically done that, whatever the union got, exempt employees got the same thing.
We just got verbiage to say if this is it,
This is it for the non-union.
letter or.
Anybody else? Call roll.
Hudson.
Yeah.
Kessel.
Yes.
Coomer.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
McCollum.
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Arnett.
Yes.
Beck.
Yes.
Barry.
No.
Bowler.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Duchesne.
Yes.
Duquesne.
Yeah.
And Hope.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, next up is an amendment to the vacation leave policy as found in your board packet. I will make a motion to approve that amendment as well.
Second by Beck.
Same story, John.
Okay. This is right.
Any other questions? Call roll.
Kessel.
Yes.
Coomer.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
McCollum.
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Arnett.
Yes.
Beck.
Yes.
Barry.
No.
Bowler.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Duchesne.
Yes.
Duquesne.
Yes.
Hope.
Yes.
And Hudson. Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Anything else? All right, finance, John.
All right, a couple things we have are all ARPA related. The first thing is the South Fulton community is raising money to put in an all-weather track at the VIT High School. The finance committee moved to give $50,000 of ARPA money towards that project. I'll move that we do that.
Motion by Spangler, second by Beck.
All right. Any questions?
What other school gets it besides him?
They're the only one that came to us for this proposal.
All right, you
I got
guys.
a question. If those two, if Astoria and South Fulton have been consolidated schools, is this a situation that would give South Fulton the edge because the facilities are being built over there? Is it a reason for improving that area in case of consolidation? And would it be the right place to build it if those two were to consolidate? Does South Fulton have the best high school if they were to
Well,
consolidate?
it's VIT. Let's get that.
VIT,
South Fulton is
that's
the
right.
consolidation
That's
of the two of them.
Yeah.
The superintendent from VIT is here, Matt.
Okay.
I'll let you.
Yeah, why don't you look around?
Okay, to answer your question, if something like that were to happen, yes, VIT is more than capable of absorbing Astoria. Not saying that that's what we're trying to make happen here at all. We're trying to just be South Fulton. The track would offer a community walk area. Currently, we have nothing in South Fulton area between any of the four towns, whether it be Astoria, Vermont, Tail Grove, Astoria, and Pava. There is currently nothing at all of a walking area for our citizens. Just by doing what we've already done, which is all we've done so far is the asphalt piece, that alone we've already have walkers going right now. Every morning, if you drive past VIT at 6:30 in the morning, you will see someone out there walking. We currently then offer it to our parents. Some will do it during sport while kids are at practice. It's also always open to the public anyway, kind of like Lewiston's currently is. But at the time before this, we had absolutely nothing. We had a cinder track that used to be covered by, which was covered by weeds. We didn't have anything. It was an eyesore and it wasn't safe. So the reason VIT got it and not Astoria is basically Astoria didn't want to have the track. They didn't want track. They said, VIT, you take it. So it actually was a, started off as a nobody paid. We didn't pay. It was all volunteer. We didn't pay the coaches. We didn't pay anything. However, that grew from a nothing program to 70 plus athletes, which again, we are a 1A school, much similar, Lewiston. We are 1A school, and so we gained 70 athletes of that. So we now, it's full-time positions for coaches. They are paying for all that. The sad thing that we used to do, and even though we had a state winners of those 70s, they had to train elsewhere. They had to go to Beardstown to train. They had to go to Rushville to train. They couldn't do it on their own facilities. This alone, I said, right now we are completed basically phase one. However, we're still paying for that, which is where this money would go to. Where we were paying for the asphalt, which was Spoon River Blacktop. So again, a local community, local business. And that's what we've been just hoping to continue to expand it. And I said it is open to the public. And the reason I said, again, for your question, yes, VIT, if something were to happen financially, something hurt or their numbers, we can absorb. We are very strong. I've been superintendent for 5 years, 5 years in the black. We are financially strong enough that we can withstand and bring in others if we need to. And we have the room.
John?
My question is, I'm all for education and sports, but what happened to some other schools ask for this for different things? Are we opening a Pandora's box? I would like to see this track, but what are we doing by doing this?
We are the only school, as far as the track portion, if you want to push that side, we are the only school district in this area in Fulton County that doesn't have a track. So we are the only school that doesn't have them currently. We are also one of the only schools, I said the community-wise, we are the only ones that don't have a walking area somewhere to the community. Lewiston, you have a couple parks. Right out here, they have a nice little asphalt area that you can walk around. The one up the hill, another nice one. We have nothing. And we have sidewalks that get cut off. That's what we have.
But my question is this is a great idea, but what are we leading the public into?
We don't know, John. This is the only proposal we've got from a school. Matt did bring up one point at our finance meeting. They have not received nearly the amount of
funding the state promises us every year.
Well, that as well as COVID money that
That's
other
money.
schools got, being such a small school. It seems like we do not do much for the South Fulton area. This benefits the community as much as it does the school. If other proposals come in from schools, we'll just have to look at them one at a time and evaluate and just make a decision.
Have we looked into some of this COVID money?
That's what this
That's
is.
what
That's what we're using.
And feel free, which I'm not to tell you guys how to throw your money, but I will tell you, I mean, we say the same thing when they ask your money is, well, this money is dedicated to certain projects. So once that money's gone, it's gone. So this money that you were going to referring to, once that's gone, we're not asking for extra money. We're not asking for constant payments or anything like that. It's just something to help us get over that edge so we can get this in as fast as possible.
Okay. Stan, did you have a question?
Why is that other schools can fit this in their budget and VIT can't?
For the track
For this
itself,
track.
a track, we've actually went through different ways to go about this, and we actually tried to make it the cheapest way possible, which, again, we could do it, but when we talk about this and when you plan for something like this, you're talking years out in advance then. So this project, if we were to start setting money aside over and over again, well, then you're probably looking at a 10-year project before it could actually happen, as opposed to something that can happen to the community and to the people right now, where their money is still there.
What did you think of this 10 years ago? instead of now.
I wasn't a superintendent 10 years ago. To be honest, I didn't know Table Grove existed 15 years ago.
But I'll tell you what, I run on the center track when I run.
This is, you couldn't find the centers if you wanted to on this track, unfortunately.
Well, that means
How long
it went
before you,
downhill.
how long before you're able to raise the rest of the money?
So that's a great question. So right now, we have already brought in $200,000. This phase one, which is the asphalt that went all the way around it in that project and the gravel and all that between after that and architect fees, we are 140,000 short, which is due in February. We have 40,000 of that currently in our account to go towards it, so that leaves 100,000 for that. So if we can get that, plus we're waiting on a couple other donors, committees like DOT and some other ones. I mean, some bigger ones. Because let's face it, South Fulton, it's not Canton, it's not even Lewiston. We don't have the businesses that other ones have. So we have hit all those up. We have, and they have donated. I'm not going to say they haven't donated. The thing is, it's a $600,000 project. So when you get it, and some of these communities, or some of them, they wanted to give, so they gave money for future ones. So we actually have $80,000 promised to us. It's just they're going to give so much at this time, and then another year we get so much, and then year 3 we get so much.
I guess that's what I worry about is if you've already hit those people and you don't have more people to hit.
There is outside bigger ones that we are looking at
that
could help finish this project even quicker. But the immediate one, which can already at the minimum, and I mean minimum, at the minimum will provide a safe and healthy practice facility as well as a walking area. You can go right now and walk, I said, already out there and do it at this moment. If you guys ever drive past 136, go up by VIT, you'll see it. And you can do all that right now. And we are 100,000 from that, and that is very reachable right now.
Okay, Cindy?
I can tell you, I drive by this every day, every morning about 7:15, and I'm always seeing activity out there, and it is looking very nice. And I'm watching this progress on a day-to-day basis.
You actually can go on the VIT website and you'll see a picture of it as you go through. It shows some different pictures and you'll see some pictures of it.
Okay, anybody else?
It's real.
Okay, call the roll. We go.
Coomer,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
McCollum,
Yes.
Platt,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Wade,
Yes.
Arnett,
Yes.
Beck,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Bowler,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Duchesne,
Yes.
Duquesne,
Yes.
Hope, Hudson,
Yes.
Kessel,
No.
motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the next one we have is the county clerk is needing new election machines. And tonight at our finance meeting, we moved to approve up to $200,000 of ARPA money to go towards new election machines. So I'll move we do that. Is there a second?
Second by Bowler. Any
Patrick?
discussion?
It's all yours.
Any questions?
We gotta do it.
Hang
What's the total
Donna?
bill?
What's the
Total
total bill?
The total bill will not be known until the RFP is back. There is a quote out there from 2019 for $365,000. There's now a quote out there for $494,000. So it's going to be somewhere between there. But the RFP and the competition that stems from the RFP will most likely bring that total bill closer to the 365 than it does the 494.
Back in 2019, we had a public hearing to approve issuing a bond for these, and that amount was up to $315,000. $365,000. And that is still good if we can get this done by October 8th.
Yep.
Is that correct? So that's why we're trying to get this pushed in. We don't know. That's where we don't know exactly what the RFP is the price is gonna come in at. So that's why the motion is to go up to 200,000 of ARPA money.
We could also go up to 365,000 on the bond.
Your requesting
Better
is
do it.
200,000, correct?
Up to 200,000 of ARPA money to be used towards.
Yeah.
Dan?
I was gonna ask Patrick, is there any, since it is voting machines that you're looking at, is there any kind of state or federal money grants for election equipment out there available?
No. Otherwise, I would have applied.
Anybody else?
Call Trump. There you go.
Nestor, you have something?
I was gonna make the motion, we, go up to 200,000.
We already got it.
There I got it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, call roll.
Madsen,
Yes.
McCollum,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Arnett,
Yes.
Beck,
Yes.
Barry, Bowler,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Duchesne,
Yes.
Duquesne,
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Hudson, Kessel,
Yes.
and Coomer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. That it?
That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Executive session, closed meeting, closed minute meetings, 5 ILCS 122C21. Need a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Cindy, Arnett, and Thompson. Roll call.
This is Duquesne. I don't have the call-in number for executive session.
Row.
Oh, hang on.
I've got it here, Susan.
Ask her to tell her.
Susan, tell. Susan. Yeah.
Hang on, I might have it.
Roger, I need it too.
Okay, your number, I know.
Yeah, I got it. Or I'll text it to you.
Hang on, Susan, I'm looking to see if I got your phone.
If you send it to me, I can send it to Susan.
So this new phone is just, I can't find anything in there.
Sorry,
Okay, yeah, Susan, I got your number. So,
sorry, you two, you
I'll
two are
text it to
usually
you.
here. That's my fault. That's okay.
All right. Yeah, we'll both keep them in. That's all we ever do.
Okay, Laura, it's on its way to you. You want to send it to Susan? Okay, thank you.
What number do I have?
Thank you. Just push the middle and the bottom.
Jay Russell, RUSS. Fulton,
Thank you.
Arnett,
Yes.
Beck,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Bowler,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Duchesne,
Yes.
Duquesne,
Yes.
Hope,
Hey, send that.
Hudson,
Yes.
Kessel,
There somewhere.
Laura, Coomer,
Yes.
Madsen,
Yes.
McCollum,
Yes.
Platt,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
back to Kessel.
Yes.
Okay, you're in executive session. At 7:47 PM.
And they've done theirs.
Okay.
Okay,
Entertain a motion to keep the
Yep.
executive session.
all right. I need a motion here to keep the executive sessions in secret. By Duchesne, second by Arnett.
Giving that to Arnett.
Yep. Okay, call roll.
Spangler,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Arnett,
Yes.
Beck,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Bowler,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Duchesne,
Yes.
Duquesne,
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Hudson, Kessel,
Yes.
Coomer,
Yes.
Mattson,
Yes.
McCollum.
Yes.
Here, Platt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, thank you. Not a biggie. Who wants to go home? Coomer and Bullard. Call roll.
Josh, Danny, and Steve want to go?
Yep.
Taylor,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Williams, Arnett.
Yes.
Beck,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Bowler,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Duchesne,
Yes.
Duquesne,
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Hudson, Kessel,
Yes.
Coomer,
Yes.
Mattson,
Yes.
McCollum,
Yes.
Platt,
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
You're adjourned, Mr. Chairman.
Sure. Wait. You can't.
So, moving to Farmington Nursing Home yesterday.
They do